It was a game that could have gone either way. I'm happy the Cowboys won it. There are things the Cowboys need to improve on, though. I don't really think the Giants looked as bad as the score may indicate. I felt they were in it until the very end.
No, they were terrible. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't make it seem like they
don't
right.
try to make me feel
they were
better.
terrible.
I still say that was a game I thought they could have pulled out at any given second.
They could have pulled it out, but that's only because the Cowboys weren't that much better.
No, you could tell. Look, it was one of those games where you literally could just tell.
It wasn't for Romo to Ogletree. The whole game's different.
Okay.
And I mean, the whole night he went to Ogletree.
Wouldn't you if it was working?
Kept picking on the fourth and fifth corners, which is fine. That's what you're supposed to do. Pick out the weakness and exploit it.
Just like
that's what
they
did.
Look,
we're not very deep at corner. Like I was trying to explain yesterday. I'm not happy with. I'm happy with our safeties. I'm happy with our line. I'm not happy with everything else in between. Not happy with the corners. I'm not happy with our linebackers. Even though Boley did have a pick last night.
Even Keith Rivers looked pretty good for you guys at times. He made some big plays. He held Jason Witten up, which stopped Murray from breaking a big run. Keith Rivers made some plays yesterday, which is something you guys only really got out of Kiwanuka when it came down from your outside linebackers over the past couple of years. Kiwanuka was really the only guy that...
Kiwanuka's really at the end. We had to convert him to linebacker because we're so short there.
Well, I mean, he plays both very well.
Yeah, we're so deep at D-line that we just got to convert him to other things. That's what happens. Like Tuck started out, he was a D tackle. Moved over to end.
Got a little more athletic, put him in.
Pushed Kiwanuka out to linebacker. We're so deep at that position that we just say, hey, our D-line can, let's let him play linebacker too. Why the hell not?
I could be wrong, but didn't Kiwanuka start as a linebacker and they moved him to defensive end when everybody went down last year?
No,
he has played both since he's been a Giant. It's that simple. Spagnuolo, and that's where the confusion is. Spagnuolo used him wherever the hell he wanted to use him. He used him as a defensive end. He used him as a linebacker. He used him as a defensive tackle. He used him as a middle linebacker. He used him everywhere because he's an athletic, talented football player. This was a game where there were a few big moments that were either completely game changers, saved certain things from happening. Like you have the tackle that you mentioned on the interception on the 3-yard line or 1-yard line by Tyron Smith on, I think it was Boley that had the interception.
Boley had the interception.
Now Tyron doesn't make that interception. It's a 7-0 game. Instead, Dallas's defense comes out and is able to hold the Giants to 3. That's a big moment.
Nope. This is where we're going to disagree. The Dallas defense didn't hold him. It was Kevin Killdrive did his job, and his awesome red zone offense
That's an angry
stuck it
Giant
to us
fan.
again. Because he's terrible. He is terrible.
That is spoken.
He is terrible.
A defense still had to make the tackles, though.
Yeah. That deep breath. That is spoken like an angry Giant fan, whether you want to admit it or not.
Listen, did I not say Kevin Killdrive yesterday cost us games? Did I not say he makes terrible decisions in the red zone? Did I not say yesterday on this show Kevin Killdrive is the worst red zone offensive coordinator in this league?
Yet he's got 2 Super Bowl rings.
I said that yesterday.
I'm just thinking the same
He's
thing.
got 2 Super Bowl rings as the offensive coordinator. So no matter how you want to look at it, he's got 2 Super Bowl rings.
He might have 2 Super Bowl rings, but none of them came inside the red zone because we are a terrible red zone offense.
Your game-winning touchdown against New England Patriots 2000 Super Bowl was the 1st and 10 on the 10-yard line. That's in the red zone. Kill drive called that play.
Oh wait, and that wasn't in 2000.
Called that play.
2007.
I'm sorry if I said 2000. Either way, he called that play inside the 10-yard line, game-winning touchdown.
Kevin Killdrive is a terrible red zone coordinator.
All right. Either which way.
Look, but don't say that it was a great Dallas defensive stop.
How was it?
They wouldn't have made that stop last year.
You stopped him from running to the right.
Calling was terrible,
and they probably would have gotten a touchdown last year off the Cowboys defense last year. They would have made that play. They would have made that.
And garbage on 3rd down. That's what Killdrive does.
Defense
Victor
is still
Cruz
improved.
gets open, they call pass interference, and they score a touchdown. Eli throws a better ball. No matter how you want to look at it, that easily could have been a touchdown on third down. Or it could have been a restart of downs with the interference called.
Kevin Killdrive is the reason.
I'm going to lose it next week when your offense puts up like 500 yards, and I look at you and say, how about Kevin Killdrive now?
They can put up 500 yards, but it's not going to be from the 20 in.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, it's going to be so much fun at the end of the year. I'm doing research since Kevin I will have this for you tomorrow. I'm going to see where Kevin Gilbride and the New York Giants red zone offense ranks since he's been in the NFL. Since he's been their offense coordinator. If he is in the top half of the league, you no longer have an opinion on him in the red zone.
Top half of the league doesn't matter. You got to be at the top of the league. If you're
top
15th,
half won 2 Super Bowls.
If you're 15th, you're 500.
Top half of the league is all you need. If you're in the top half of the league in every statistical category, you have a good year. That's simple. If you have the top half, if you were in the top half,
so if you're 15th in running, 14th in passing, that's a great year.
I didn't say it's a great year.
Well, you're in the top half. You're in the top half.
You're a playoff team.
You're in the top
12
half.
teams made the playoffs.
But
You're
wait,
in the
by
top
the way,
half.
in both Super Bowl runs, was it the offense that carried them or was it the defense that carried them?
I give it to the defense in 2007. I give it to Eli in 2011. Nine touchdowns, only 1 pick, 65 completion percentage.
The defensive line, the way they got after the quarterback at the end of the year last year is the reason they made it as deep into the playoffs as they do.
It was a huge impact, but Victor Cruz Cruz with a 99-yard touchdown against the Jets was the biggest play in the entire game against the Jets when you won. Week 17, an 80-yard touchdown catch by Victor Cruz against the Cowboys is the biggest reason you won that game. Your pass rush is the reason you guys don't blow leads. Your pass rush is the reason teams can't get ahead of you by 21 points. Your pass rush in 2007 and your run game is why you won.
Last year we were down a lot in the fourth quarter.
You were down a lot, and yet you kept coming back.
15 fourth quarter touchdowns.
Based on Eli Manning.
So right there, your point's mute. You don't have a point.
Your defense. I have a point. You just saved my point. You asked me if the defense won you those games, yet your defense is the reason you're down 12, 14 points in the fourth quarter.
No, but I'm saying it's the late run they had last year in the playoffs and the last few games that is the reason, is what propelled them to the Super Bowl, is what propelled them to win.
It made a huge, huge impact. But those 2 plays by Victor Cruz alone are 2 of the biggest reasons the Giants won those games.
I'm not going to deny they're not big plays.
And then if you want to
look, they're not the only reason they won those games.
And if you want to look at the win against the Packers in the divisional playoff game, I'm sorry. I believe I watched your defense let Rodgers move the ball, and then they killed themselves with turnovers and overthrown balls. And it was Eli Manning who scored 4 touchdowns on his first 4 possessions of that game, including the Hail Mary pass to Hakeem Nicks at the end of the first half. I give credit to your offense for most of that playoff run, other than when you played New England. That Super Bowl game,
we don't win either of those Super Bowls.
Well, that's a whole, of course. Without a defense, nobody wins a Super Bowl. It's all 3 facets of the game. San Francisco, if they had a better special teams, probably would have beat you guys in the NFC Championship game last year. 1 muff putt and then the fumble. Huge impact. Huge. The Giants are a great all-around football team. They have a pass rush. They have 2 good safeties. There's a very good defense. You have a elite quarterback. You have a pretty good running back.
No,
we
were last in the league in rushing last year.
That's not.
How can you say we have a pretty good running back?
We do have a pretty good running back.
We were dead last in the league, 32nd in the league in rushing last year. 32nd in the league. Last in the NFL.
Bradshaw
you
still
cannot
had
say
a good
we had a
season
good
last year.
running game if we're last in the NFL.
Did I say you had a good running game?
Yes,
we're talking about one running back.
A good running back.
We don't have a good running back if he's last in the league.
Your team is last in the league.
He is.
When your team is down by double digits in the fourth quarter, you're not running the ball.
Was he the only running back? Was he the only running back getting carries for them last year? Because Brandon Jacobs was there too.
He was there.
He probably could have produced a little more in a league.
No.
In a league where 90% of the teams are giving carries to more than 2 running backs a game.
The Giants screwed that up years ago when they stopped giving him the ball and they started bringing in Bradshaw and giving him most of the carries. That was the downfall of Jacobs.